Well, good morning, guys. I've been gone a little while, and I'm going to tell you why. While I'm telling you the story, I'm going to start working on, I'm going to render some tallow. I actually have 2 bags of this, and what this is it's called leaf fat, L-E-A-F, the fat around the kidney. Tallow is from beef. Lard is from pork fat. So, where have I been? Well, the old farmer had a heart attack a little over a month ago, and he's doing great. And for the first few weeks, I did all the chores, which, not that big a deal. So anyway, that's what's been going on. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do, this is the way I render it. I'm going to be cutting this up into small pieces, and I'll show you as I go along. Let me get things set up, we'll get started. Okay guys, this is a piece of it, and you can kind of see where the kidney laid in. This is still partially frozen. It's easier to work with. I laid it out about an hour ago. And some people will grind theirs up to where it looks kind of like hamburger, but I just cut mine in small pieces. Now, if you find pieces that have meat on them, you need to cut that meat out. For right now, I'm filling up my crock pot. And then I'm going to fill up my roasting pan. And when we get there, I'll show you. I thought I'd show you about the size that I cut this beef fat up into. Just maybe, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch cubes. And when it's like this, partially frozen, it cuts up very easily. Well, I finished up that first package of the leaf fat, and I went down and got the other one. I've got another package the same size. I thought, just as well do it all. But let me show you what I've run into. I don't know if you noticed that this is really white. That's what I want. And then this has more of a yellow cast to it. So I've got this in one of my smaller Dutch oven or skillets here. And because I don't want to mix the yellow and the white. I don't think it's going to make a difference because I've made it with this before and it was just fine. I want to keep them separate just to kind of see what I have. So I'm going to finish cutting up this piece, and then I'll put the lid on this, and it's going in the oven. Okay, I finished cutting that up. I always put a little water on. I don't know. It'll all evaporate anyway. I just put some on, just kind of keep it from sticking on the bottom. I'm gonna put the lid on this. It's going in the oven at, I think the lowest setting I have is 170. Guys, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I went down and got that other package of tallow, but when it's done, it'll be done. Anyway, this has been in the crock pot. I've been going back and forth between low and high, just keeping an eye on it and stirring it. So as you can see, the fat's starting to melt, and starting to get a little bit of tallow around the edges, but I'm going to let it cook down a little bit more. Now, here's where I'm questioning myself. I've got 2 skillets here, Dutch ovens, small Dutch ovens, whatever, on the stove top, and I'm really going to have to watch these closely. This one I just brought out of the oven probably about 30 minutes ago. So as you can see, it's cooking down, melting down, rendering. This one I just put on, and I'll go over to the table and show you what's been in the oven. I brought it out to stir. This is my roaster. So it's been in the oven for a little bit, and now I'm going to sit and stir and watch everything closely because you don't want it to burn. And this is just getting started. So it's going back in the oven, and I think I have my oven up to 250. It'll probably go up to 300, but you're gonna have to watch it really close. So I'll bring you back when we start skimming it off. It just about got away from me. I've already done what I had in this bigger skillet, and I'll show it to you in a minute. And this is that was all of that yellow, and this is what was in the crock pot. And I noticed it's got some of that yellow fat in it. And that tells me, I'm not 100% sure, but the light colored is what's right around the kidney, the healthier fat. The yellow would be a little further away, like regular body fat. And it's still, they say it's still healthy. The healthier stuff is the leaf fat. So typically what I do is when I strain the rendered off fat, whatever you want to call it, I pour it directly in the jar. This time I'm going to run it through a screened sieve or strainer, whatever. And because I'm going to keep it separate. I want to keep this yellow by itself. And then this one's going to be, normally I just mix it all together, but this time I'm going to kind of separate it out. So I'm going to be straining it twice. But I just dip this off. See how pretty golden that is? And it does dry white, or cools down to white. And I'm just going to keep dipping this off. And I'll come back and show you when this is done. You get what they call cracklins. A lot of people just really enjoy the cracklins. Just a little salt on them and eat them that way. I'm not crazy about them, but our dogs like them. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but it's still real golden. The white is what splashed up on the side. That's a color it's going to cool down to. But this that had the all white fat in it. And again, I'm going to run it through a second straining, and I'll show you that when I get ready to do it. All right, guys, I'm about to wrap up this little project. What was I thinking? Why did I do twice as much? I figured if I had a mess, I'd just as well make a big one, right? And I'm about to make an even bigger mess. So, I don't normally do what I did before, was just to strain out the large pieces. I usually put it right into the jars like I'm going to show you now. But because I had the yellow fat and the white fat, and I just wanted to see what was going to happen with the tallow. And now I've got my strainer and a funnel and a wide mouth jar. And I am heating the lard back up, or the tallow, excuse me. And I'm going to pour it into these jars. And what I do is I put, you can use cheesecloth, you can use anything that works for you. But I've got these flour sack towels that I absolutely love. And this strainer keeps falling off. But I've already done the really, the yellow fat. I've already done it. I'll show everything to you when I'm done. But now I've got, I put the flour sack towel. I got my jar, my funnel, my strainer, and the flour sack towel. And this is how much of the one that was like, had the white and yellow in it. Like I said, I wanted to divide it out to see what it's going to look like. So now, I forgot something. Okay, now I'm going to take a ladle and half ladle it and half pour it into, over this flour sack towel and the filter and the funnel into the jar. Hey, this is what it looks like, this beautiful golden color. And that is normal. Now I'm going to put lids on, just metal lids. And actually these are lids that I've used before. But these don't really seal. Sometimes they'll seal on their own because the tallow is so hot. But I put that on, that's how I store it. And I'm going to leave it set over there overnight, and we'll check it all in the morning. Now this right here is why you use a flour sack or you use some type of a fine filter. You can use paper coffee filters for that matter. That is why you want to make sure that you strain all those impurities out, all of those, so you have nice, clear lard, tallow, whatever you're making at the time. So I've got now both 2 batches done. I'm going to go ahead and fill the last one, and it filled this bigger stock pot about 3/4 full. So I'll come back when I get that all put in, and I'll show you what we ended up with. Okay guys, here's what I ended up with. I'm gonna have to look at them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 5 jars were the white, and I just think it's beautiful. That lemony yellow, very clear. Now tomorrow, we'll look at it tomorrow morning, but it'll be white. Then this jar was the one that was half yellow, half white. And this jar was the one that was mostly yellow. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. All right, let's look and see tomorrow what we have, but this will probably be white, a real creamy looking white. And this probably will have a yellow hue to it. Anyway, I'll see you in the morning. I got a mess to clean up now. All right, guys. Well, it's the next morning. And look how beautiful that turned out. So creamy white. And I'll show you the others. This is the jar, or the one that was the half yellow, half white fat. And this is the one that was the real dark yellow. So people are going to say, well, what does it taste like or smell like? It really doesn't have much of a smell. Guys, I'm obviously out of the groove of doing videos because I was kind of looking back at what I did yesterday, because this is the following day, but I'm going to start here. And I just want to start by saying thank you to everybody for checking up on us. The old farmer had a heart attack the first weekend in December. It was a mild one, so he's doing great. But we had worked cattle on Saturday, and he woke up Sunday morning and kept saying his shoulders hurt. We all hurt all over because we hadn't run the cattle chutes and all that in a while. Didn't give it much thought, and then realized he was having a heart attack. So they our little hospital life watched him out, and we go to Wichita, Kansas is where they life watch him. They put a stent in, and he's doing great. And first of all, thank you, Sandy Swanson. Sandy is a friend of mine, and she's a retired cardiology nurse, right, Sandy? Anyway, she knew all the answers to my questions and helped me, understand more what was going on. So thank you, Sandy. And thank you to all of you who emailed me or messaged me, commented on Facebook, checking up on us. I really appreciate it.